would like to talk about papaya today, Carica papaya. It's one of 22 species in the genus Carica of the family Caricaceae. Also known as pawpaw in Australia, but not to be confused with eastern North American fruit tree pawpaw, Asimina triloba. Asimina triloba. So this is Carica papaya. It was first found to be from the tropics of the Americas and Mexico. Papaya trees are usually small, up to 5 to 10 meters, or 16 to 33 feet tall, with few branches and spirally arranged leaves near the top of the tree. The lower trunk of the papaya is scarred from leaves and fruit. Papaya leaves are large and deeply lobed with 7 lobes. All parts of the plant contain latex. The flowers are highly dimorphic, and male flowers have stamens fused to the petals, and female flowers have an ovary and 5 contorted petals loosely connected together. Male and female flowers grow in the leaf axils. Male flowers are multi-flowered and dicosia, and female flowers are few-flowered dicosia. The flowers are sweetly scented and open at night, and wind or insect pollinated. The fruit is a large berry that's 5 to 17 inches long, depending on the variety. Papayas are ripe when they're soft, when gently pressed, with orange flesh and multiple black, soft, shiny seeds. Some varieties do not have many seeds inside. Papaya was native to Mexico and northern South America, then introduced to the Caribbean islands, Florida, Texas, California, Hawaii, and worldwide in tropical and subtropical climates. Papaya plants grow in 3 sexes: male, female, and hermaphrodite. Male produces only pollen, never fruit. Female produces small inedible fruits, unless pollinated. Hermaphrodite can self-pollinate since its flowers contain both male stamens and female ovaries. Most papaya orchards contain only hermaphrodites. Papaya grows quickly and may produce fruit as early as within 3 years. The hermaphrodites are preferred because they can produce the fruit all in one plant, as opposed to having one male and one female plant. So orchards don't need one of each or several of each to increase production of fruit. So it makes sense to not waste the space and have one hermaphroditic plant. Papaya is highly frost sensitive. Temperatures below 29 degrees Fahrenheit may damage or kill the plant. In Florida, California, and Texas, growth is limited to the southern parts of the states and prefers sandy, well-drained soil, as standing water may kill the plant within 24 hours. This is true, as I had a plant that my mom grew, and I had it in a pot, and during the rainy season I left it out unprotected, and it was more of that it was waterlogged than that it was cold, but maybe a combination of both that killed it. So I've had a couple papaya plant starts that have died the same way, so now I know to keep them warm and drier. In 2018, global production of papayas was 13 tons, led by India with 45% of the world total. 2 kinds of papaya are popular. One has sweet red or orange flesh, and the other has yellow flesh. When either of these are picked while green, they're called green papaya. Mexico and Belize commonly cultivate the large-fruited, red-fleshed Meridol, Sunrise, and Caribbean red papayas for U.S. markets. In 2011, Philippine researchers hybridized papaya with Vasconcelia quercifolia. This developed non-genetically engineered papayas resistant to papaya ring spot virus, PRV. Carica papaya was the first transgenic fruit tree to have its genome sequenced. In 1998, Hawaiian growers noticed an outbreak of the papaya ring spot virus. It nearly wiped out all papaya trees. Genetically altered papaya were approved and sold. An example are the Sun Up and Rainbow varieties. Varieties resistant to PRV have some DNA of this virus in the plant DNA. So it almost wiped out all of the papaya in Hawaii, but also it has the capacity to infect other papayas worldwide and wipe out and make extinct the papaya. So that was why it was ingenious and necessary for a genetically modified cultivar to be produced. So about that, papaya was the first transgenic fruit tree to have its genome sequenced. Due to the papaya ring spot virus in Hawaii in 1998, genetically modified papaya were approved and brought to market. Varieties resistant to PRV have some DNA of the virus incorporated into the DNA of the plant. As of 2010, 80% of Hawaiian papaya plants were genetically modified. The alterations were made by University of Hawaii scientists who made the modified seeds available to farmers without charge. And I believe those are the varieties that I am referring to that do not have seeds within them, not many at all, if even one or two, because those are really delicious variety of papaya. However, when I broke into them, I rarely found seeds in them. So I'm not exactly sure. I think the only way to propagate those are by cuttings, I believe, because of the lack of seeds. So papaya ring spot virus start by yellowing and vein clearing of younger leaves. Mottling of yellow leaves also occurs. Infected leaves may have blisters, roughen, or narrow with blades sticking upwards from the middle of the leaves. The stems may develop dark green greasy streaks and become shorter. Ring spots are circular, C-shaped markings that are a darker green than the fruit. Later markings turn gray and crusty. Viral infections impact growth and decrease fruit quality and affects the taste. As of 2010, the only way to protect papaya from this virus is genetic modification. Papaya mosaic virus destroys the plant until only a small tuft of leaves remain. The virus affects both leaves and fruit. Leaves have thin, irregular, dark green lines around the borders and clear areas around the veins. The fruit may be affected and at any stage of maturity having dark green ring spots about 1 inch in diameter. Rings are likely on the stem end or blossom end. Early stages of infection show multiple closed circles of ring spots. Later, the rings increase in diameter with one large ring. The difference between the ring spot and mosaic viruses is the ripe fruit in the ring spot and the mosaic viruses, as the ripe fruit in the ring spot has mottling of colors and mosaic does not. Also, so those were two kinds of viruses that affect papaya fruit, but also fungi. So the fungus anthracnose attacks the papaya, especially the mature fruits. And the disease starts off as a water-soaked spot on the ripening fruit that becomes sunken and turns brown or black and gets bigger. The spots may produce pink spores. The fruit is soft and the flower is off as the flavor is off as the fungus grows into the fruit. And another one is powdery mildew, which is common in many plants, and it's just a white spot all over the leaves, and it really doesn't harm the like squash per se, squash production. It just looks unsightly, and it's a very common fungi problem. Phytophthora, and in squashes, by the way, in squashes when there is powdery mildew, an easy, quick, cheap solution is just to pour some milk that's watered down with water onto the leaves and the foliage of the squash, and it should make it go away. Another fungi is Phytophthora blight, which causes damping off, root rot, and stem girdling, and fruit rot in the papaya. And as far as pests go, papaya fruit fly lays its eggs in the fruit, 100 or more eggs, hatching within 12 days when they begin to feed on seeds and interior parts of the fruit. When the larvae mature within 16 days after being hatched, they eat their way out of the fruit, drop to the ground, pupate in the soil, and emerge 1 to 2 weeks later as mature flies. Infected papaya turns yellow and drops as well. And then the cycle keeps continuing. So a key way to prevent that is to harvest your fruit before they are overly ripe, and inspect them often to make sure there aren't holes in them. And also, if the fruit drops to the ground, to immediately throw them away or destroy them, so that the cycle doesn't continue. So it's actually a really easy, there's an easy fix. Two spotted spider mites is another problem when it comes to pests. The two-spotted spider mite is about half a millimeter long, so very tiny, brown or orange or green, translucent oval pest. They have needle-like mouths that pierce the plant in the underside. They remove the sap of the plant. A small spot appears at the feeding site. The papaya leaves turn yellow, gray, or bronze, and then it ultimately causes fruit death. The papaya whitefly lays yellow oval eggs that appear dusted on undersides of the leaves. They eat papaya leaves, damaging the fruit. So that's a third pest. Papayas are common hosts for fruit flies like A. suspensa, which lay eggs in overripe or spoiled papayas. And their larvae consume the fruit and nutrients and pupate in different stages in the fruit. So, like I said, an easy solution is to harvest it when it's still slightly green, and it'll still be firm, and to let it ripen on your counter, and it won't be so easily susceptible to insects. Or to use neem oil, which is an organic, natural way to get rid of many insects. So, but do that early in the spring, and possibly a second time in early summer or midsummer. Culinary uses, you can eat unripe green papaya when it's cooked, but not when it's raw due to its poisonous latex content. The ripe papaya fruit is usually eaten raw without skin or seeds. Papaya seeds are edible, but have a sharp, spicy taste. In Southeast Asia, young papaya leaves are steamed and eaten like spinach. Both raw and cooked green papaya are eaten as papaya salad, pickled papaya, and used in curries. Papaya jam is made in Senegal. Papain. Both green papaya fruit and its latex are rich in papain, a protease used for tenderizing meat and proteins, as practiced by indigenous Americans and Caribbean and Philippines. Papaya is not suitable for gelatin-based desserts because the enzymatic properties of papain prevent gelatin from setting. Papaya fruit is 88% water and 11% carbs, with remaining being fat, protein, and fiber. It is mostly a source of vitamin C. 75% of the daily value, and 10% in folate. Phytochemicals in the papaya skin, pulp, and seeds include carotenoids and polyphenols. A word of caution: papaya releases a latex fluid when not ripe, possibly causing irritation and an allergic reaction in some people. Because the enzyme papain acts as an allergen in sensitive individuals, meat tenderized with it may induce an allergic reaction. It also contains benzyl isothiocyanates and benzyl glucosinates, increasing as the fruit ripens further. Papaya seeds have cyanogenic substance called prenacin. So it is not recommended for pregnant ladies to consume too much of the papaya. So I planted these papaya seeds in the ground because of my unsuccessful prior attempts at growing them. I've become a little bit aware of how to grow them to not have them waterlogged, but also now I know that they're pretty frost intolerant. So, and we don't really have frost in California, Southern California, but I think just to add extra mulch and such. So here I have about 8 baby papaya. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a tiny one sprouting right there, 5, 6, 7, and I think there's another one hiding in there back there, number 8. And this is the biggest one, and if you look at the stems, it's nice and smooth and green right now, but at the very base it's starting to have that rough appearance, which is how it looks when it's mature, as the fruit and the leaves grow off of the trunk. And you won't know if it's a male, female, or a hermaphrodite until you start seeing the flowers, as at least that's what I believe, and it's okay with me. I can grow a bunch because there are so many seeds, and this one was the golden variety. I forgot to read what exactly the variety name was, but I'm usually opposed to genetically modified anything. However, I believe that in the case of papayas, they would have become extinct if it were not for the development of the genetically modified variety. And it's great to have such a versatile plant still and not have it go extinct. So I don't normally agree with it, but in this case I really do believe that the world's population of papayas and species would have been eradicated due to the virus. So here I have some that are about 6 or 5 months old, maybe even less. So by about next year at this time, it will be about 5 feet or 6 feet tall. So they grow pretty quickly.